SCP-130. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-130 is to be staffed by 12 D-Class, 6 security agents and 1 researcher twice per day. Starting at 1/2 hour before local sunrise and sunset, all staff are to be approximately uniformed and Caucasian only. When not staffed, 2 security agents will remain in the lobby, and 2 additional agents will patrol within the building. Agents are advised not to prevent people from entering the lobby, but to notify MTF Alpha 4 to intercept anyone who receives mail or a package. Twice per day, bundles will appear in the mailroom. The parcels within the bundles are to be sorted by uniformed staff into appropriate bags and placed in a designated vehicle for transport to Site A. Should mail arrive with the following address: Fall of Procedure Franklin 16, detailed in Addendum 132. Otherwise, mail will be checked under standard practices for any items of interest. Objects are not to be placed for outgoing mail unless certified orders have been given by O5. Procedure Franklin 17 outlines the protocol used in these cases. Should anyone else enter SCP-130 to use the outgoing mail slot, they are to be permitted to do so, then intercepted by MTF Alpha 4 as soon as possible for questioning. The incident is to be reviewed through security tapes, and the outgoing mail watched for in subsequent bundles and checked through the list of previous parcels delivered. Descriptions: SCP-130 is a post office. South Africa. Constructed in the 1800s. SCP-130 had been closed in the 1900s and left abandoned for several years. The building is in excellent condition for its age and maintains itself without human intervention, including moderate structural repairs. SCP-130 has been designated a historic site through an agreement with the South African government. 5 times per week at local sunrise and sunset, several bags and boxes will appear in the mailroom. The bundles, designated SCP-1302, will show only on weekdays, with the exception of current postal holidays. Bundles are to be handled as per special containment procedures as above. Inside of the lobby, along with the post office boxes, is a slot labelled for outgoing mail. The slot is able to accept packages up to 40 cm wide and 6 cm high, with no apparent limit for length. Once inserted into the slot, packages disappear and will eventually turn up in the outgoing mail bundles, if they have not done so previously. Addendum 1301. SCP-130 came to the attention of the Foundation in the 1900s, when packages and letters began to be circulated bearing the postmark for the site. The parcels appeared in post offices throughout the world with correct postage for delivery either locally or internationally, depending on the parcel. The parcels were often undelivered, either to non-existent addresses or to recipients who were not at the address, and so ended up in Dead Letters Office. Various Foundation assets noted the odd postmark of Mobile Task Force Alpha 4 mobilized to investigate. MTF Alpha 4 arrived, where they discovered the town had mostly been abandoned decades ago. The post office appeared to be in excellent condition, not only well maintained, but clean. While MTF Alpha 4 searched, bundles of mail appeared in the mailroom. Agents searched the bundles and discovered a variety of letters, parcels and packages, all with that date's date and the postmark for that post office. One of the agents attempted to open one of the parcels, which resulted in the agent vanishing from sight. 6 days later, a package appeared inside Alpha's mailroom. Inside of it was said agent, and an envelope with a receipt for a postage due. The said agent had returned to sender and postage due tattooed on its back, and was in comatose state. The agent remained in the state until the envelope was delivered to SCP-130's outgoing mail slot, where upon the agent returned to consciousness with no recollection from the time of his disappearance. Similar results also occurred when agents tried to take away or damage either the parcels or the post office itself. Further investigation led to the current containment procedures, where Caucasian D-Class personnel uniform circa 19 sort through the mail when it appeared. Once processed and put into and marked, vehicle. The mail can then leave the area unmolested. If the bundles are untouched, however, the bundles will vanish and later appear in the postal system of the world in order to be delivered. Addendum 1302. Through examination of the mail parcels over the past X amount of years, research has shown certain trends. Over a certain percent of the mail is of a mundane nature, except for the matter of the postmark. Exceptions to this are letters that were apparently unsent for whatever reason, and temporarily displaced letters. The former, while odd, will be destroyed in order to protect the nature of SCP-130. The latter will be examined and results submitted. Letters addressed to the Foundation site or personnel are to be sent to Site Alpha, where they will be reviewed by the department. Reports shall be classified under Project pending Overseer review. Procedure Franklin 16. When mail is specifically addressed to, the mail is to be sealed in case with active countermeasures and brought to the office of the present level 5130 supervisor. Mail will then be screened for possible explosive, chemical, biological, matic threats. After screening, the mail will be opened and obsessed. While no new artifacts requiring secure containment have arrived, the possibility cannot be ignored. Mail either addressed to or intercepted by the office is often temporarily sensitive, and as such impact must be minimized to limit changes. The possibility of the information being used to alter present-day events determinately must also be weighed. Using the information given by SCP-130 to alter events requires a 2/3 supermajority vote by the Overseers. Examples of intercepted messages are stored within Document 1301 and require Level 3 130 to access. Level 4 130 to access is also. Mail with the following code phrase are to be immediately delivered after screening, without being read by 5-130. After so doing, that code phrase is to be invalidated, and the next one brought in line. Procedure Franklin 17. Outgoing mail is to be sent with appropriate correct postage at time of sending, and must be marked with the code phrase. The mail sent by this method is to be logged, then cross-checked with past parcels to ensure temporal integrity. Upon attempting at mailing, should a receipt appear for postage due, the amount shall be placed in an envelope and put in the outgoing mail slot. The slot will accept the following currencies: rands, euros, and any other currencies known in Europe. The use of counterfeit currencies will result in lethal reaction by SCP-130. An additional fine will be levied until mail can be sent again. Addendum 133. After the end of Apartheid, SCP-130 no longer restricts postal staff to be white only. Incident 1306. Sometime in the 1900s, a package for one Lana Del Rey arrived with the address for a post office box at the site of Dr. Aitker. The researcher assigned to SCP-130 placed the parcel into the P.O. box and waited. Minutes later, an unknown person identified as Lana Del Rey walked into the lobby. The subject appeared to be briefly puzzled and walked over to the box. The locked box opened at this touch, and he expressed surprise at seeing the parcel with his name on it. MTF Alpha 4, being on site, was dispatched to investigate once the subject was out of sight of SCP-130, subsequently interviewed. The subject had no plans to visit the office that day, but I felt an unexplained desire to go there while driving nearby to visit family in the area. Upon opening the package, a Class A anesthetic was administered to the subject and was released after memory insertion.